We are the Nerd Turtle Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's Impulse. I am your host, Todd, the Toddfather Holland, and joining me as usual.
Tony the Hitman Horton.
And this is the
Did we
Digital
lose
Jedi
somebody?
himself, Camille Gordon.
He was like, "Did we lose somebody?" No, it's on there.
No,
I didn't let nobody know what order we were doing. Before we get chopping up today, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. We need all the shares that we can get. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm. That's making it a little bit harder for small businesses like ourselves to get noticed. And if you like what you're hearing on here, we really appreciate you helping us out. And not just us, any of your favorites on YouTube, they are really cracking down on us small business owners. So we'd appreciate your help. So this week we are going to be talking about Saturday morning cartoon nostalgia. Uh, what were your favorite
oh,
cartoons growing up? Are you old enough to remember the days of getting up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning to watch your favorite cartoons?
oh my goodness. Yes.
Well, let's hear
That
it.
that that's something that's something that's missing from society right now. That to the point to where me and my youngest son now, we do that on the regular, you know. And we take time out and I have a computer hooked up to my TV. And all the cartoons that I grew up watching as a kid, he gets to experience that now. And I think it's probably the best thing I've ever done to be able to go back to that time in life when there's no care in the world, man, and life was good, and it was GI Joes, Transformers, Thundercats, and Masters of the Universe, and everything was booming. It was a grand time. It was just a grand time to be alive,
Do you have a
with
bowl of cereal?
everything. Bowl of cereal,
oh
your
yeah,
pajamas, your whatever action figure that you was playing with. If you was watching the Super Friends, you had your superpower Superman and Batman and Robin in that Batmobile. If it had to be, um, uh, what else was popping? Some, let's see, at that time frame for
the
Saturday
Masters of the
mornings.
Universe,
Yeah, the
the
early
Mighty
morning Masters of
Orbots.
the Mighty Orbots. And then you had Jason the Wheel Warriors. Some pretty
Oh yeah,
cool stuff. There
I'm
was
just
just
sitting.
so much stuff that was going on.
I'm just sitting here thinking, if your ass is sitting up there in footy pajamas, I'm so clowning.
Well, I mean, at a young
I ain't talking
age,
about as a young age. I'm talking about now. I'm going back to
oh
living my
no,
childhood. What you wearing? Footy pajamas.
no, no.
I crack, but hell, if I had some footy pajamas that would fit me, I would totally be wearing them right now.
I don't think we actually realized just how much cereal we consumed watching Saturday morning cartoons.
See,
It it was it
that's where you got me beat. It's because I'm lactose intolerant, and since I couldn't have milk with my cereal, my mother didn't assume that like cereal was healthy. So like I had to eat
yeah
oatmeal, and it kills it. You sitting there watching cartoons eating oatmeal, it ain't the same. It just ain't.
but yeah it's
I
I'm
feel for you.
just blown away at the fact that they just had everything was set up for you to enjoy that day. Everything.
Yeah,
Like,
can't you remember back in the day when they'd have the like before that Saturday morning, like that Friday night, Thursday and Friday night, the different channels would have, all right, this is our Saturday morning lineup for this season.
that preview.
Yeah, I'd be sitting there plotting out my Saturday, boys. Like, all right, I'm gonna get up at this time and watch this, and then I'm gonna turn the channel this and watch that, and then I'm gonna do this. Damn, and they'd always have something on at the same damn time. I'm like, man, why do they have to come on at the same time? That sucks. So I'd be trying to like pick my favorite one,
Yep.
and it
And just
all,
try to mesh up with the time frame.
yep, and it was all over when American Bandstand came on. That was my
Yeah.
signal to go out and play.
Or ABC's after school special.
I used to
The
watch that. I
little
used to watch the little ABC cartoons though. That's where I saw Manicula.
yeah. Wow.
Shit, I'm for real. And remember, like ABC back in the day, they used to have like Schoolhouse Rock and all that kind of shit.
That was gravy.
Cause the trick is, Luther Vandross sang some of those, right? I know he sang Verb. He sang Verb, and there was another one. But yeah, if you YouTube that and go back and listen to him, yeah, it's Luther Vandross singing before he was a star.
Wow.
Yeah. Camille,
I got my
what
thing.
what was your Saturday morning like?
Man, Saturday morning seemed like so much brighter back then. Um, my brother and I would get up same time. Um, Mom was off of work. We get our cereal to get everybody be sleeping. We get our cereal. We sit down in the room. We watching Mighty Allbots was one of our favorites. Galaxy Rangers, Brave Star.
Man, Brave Star
Uh,
was the beast, bro.
Yeah, Brave Star
yeah,
was tight.
And this is what kills me though. Even at that young of an age, we didn't know they was giving us diversity at that
yep,
time frame. They was
yep.
giving it to us. Even at that time frame, I mean, it was like from Masters of the Universe to Brave Star to Galaxy Rangers, you had some kind of representation of us in it.
See, that's where y'all got me beat because by the time Brave Star came on, yeah, I was like in high school. Yeah, I was old by the time Brave Star hit. So I knew,
Uh,
yeah, I knew it was some diversity. Cause I was in like 10th grade. Yeah,
You had
I was good and old.
but see,
Silver
that's the
Hawk.
joys of having kids. That's the joys of having
Yeah,
kids because you can reintroduce your kids into that and relive that all over again. So the
Yeah,
nostalgic of it is just great.
yeah. See, for me, diversity was Fat Albert.
Oh yeah,
And yeah,
Fat
it was
Albert and the Brown Hornet.
yeah. You had Fat Albert and
yes.
Cosby Kids. You had the Harlem Globetrotters had a cartoon while I was little. Muhammad Ali had a
Oh,
cartoon while I was little. Mr. T had
you
a
had
Yep.
cartoon while I was little.
you had
And I've
Super
seen
Stretch.
all along with them.
You had Super Stretch and Micro Woman.
Yeah. See, I didn't find out about them until I was grown. I heard people talk about it, and I was always like, "Oh man, that's so cool." But shit, I went on YouTube and looked them up. Hell, I never saw them. Would have been mad cool, but yeah, I was like, "Who?" And yeah, I can remember sitting up in front of my computer, hell, looking up episodes of that. Man, I'd have lost it. I would have completely lost it.
Oh yeah, these were some good prime Bionic Six.
Man, the
Showed
Bionic
you a little
Six.
diversity.
Yeah, that was really really good.
See, that was a
Saturday morning. They
that
don't
was
even do cartoons like that anymore.
that was a trick living in Chattanooga is I couldn't see Bionic Six and I couldn't see Robotech except when I went to Paducah to visit the grandparents because they had channels on their cable that we didn't, and they used to run. That was the first place I saw both of those cartoons was in Paducah. Uh, Another something that I didn't get to see until I go home to visit was the Incredible Hulk, the UPN one
Uh huh.
that came out in the
Yeah,
'90s. Yeah, I had to
yeah.
go home. I had to go home to see that because we didn't have UPN. Matter of fact, that was me living here. Cause it took us forever to get UPN, and when we did get it, originally it was coming on at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Cause I saw like what was it Wolverine and the X Men, not Wolverine and X Men Evolution. I remember seeing a couple of episodes of it just kind of by accident. Woke up real early and it was on, and I found out that like before we actually got the channel, it was sharing space with I think it was WGN. It was jumping back and forth because that's how I start watching Angel too. It's either the UPN or WB. I'm bouncing back and forth.
It's about right. I want to say it was WB.
Because I forget what channel Static was on, but
WB.
but I remember, because I can remember going, I don't think we're gonna get WB in time for me to ever see it. Because I remember reading in Wizard magazine that Static was gonna have his own cartoon. It was like your first black comic book superhero cartoon, stuff like that. And I was like, man, I really want to see that. But we ain't had a channel. I remember telling Jason, I was like, man, there ain't no way in hell that cartoon is gonna last long enough for me to actually see it. And it ended up going enough seasons that I did end up. I think Static was on like its second or third season by the time we got it. Because I know when I was watching it, he had start crossing over with Justice League and Batman and whatnot.
That Justice League Unlimited show was really good.
Oh yeah, that was.
Oh man, I don't understand. I just don't understand. Why did they just let that fall to the wayside like that?
Because if you notice, a lot of times cartoons, they must be fairly expensive to produce. Because they don't last. If you get 4 seasons out of a cartoon, that damn thing been on a long time. And Justice League, when you count all of them, they have 4 seasons of it. Because you got 2 seasons of Justice League, and then you got 2 more seasons of Justice League Unlimited. So you got a fair amount of time with those.
Like there are literally a generation of people who only grew up with Jon Stewart as their group. They don't even know. They didn't even know Hal Jordan.
Yeah, Tarky's like that. Tarky, if you went Green Lantern, he goes Jon Stewart because that's what he grew up with. You had people. It was funny when the Green Lantern movie came out. I had people that I worked with go, man, since when's Green Lantern a white guy? I was they gave you the Silver Age one. But yeah, you had a lot of people like, huh?
I had some guy tell me that because he grew up and because a generation of people grew up with Jon Stewart as their Green Lantern, that he's the first Green Lantern. I'm like, well, no, there was other Green Lanterns. There's Hal Jordan.
There's Alan Scott.
Alan Scott, was a Green Lantern, and he's like, no, they don't count because I only grew up with Jon Stewart. And for me, that's the only Green Lantern that counts. He counts as the first Green Lantern.
Okay, if that's the one that you saw first, cool. But you get into some kind of nerd circle and say something like that, people gonna point and laugh at you. Believe what you believe, but just know that it's gonna have a price. You go on Jeopardy or something. They ask you who was the first Green Lantern. Please don't go who is Jon Stewart, because you're gonna lose that money.
Yeah.
You can always go, that was my favorite one. If you ask me about 007, my favorite one is Roger Moore, because that was the one I saw first. But he is by no means the first one.
Roger Moore was my favorite Bond too.
Yeah, Moonraker was my joint. I used to watch that damn thing so much. Hell, my folks got sick of it. That was back in the days when cable, where you had the guide that you get every month that came with your bill. You'd have a cable guide for the next month. You could sit there and see. They show you all the movies, and they would tell you what date they were coming on. So it's like, it's gonna come on the 1st, 2nd, 5th, 10th, 15th. I was trifling enough. Hell, I used to plan that shit. That's the reason why I seen Rocky 3 so damn. Rocky 3, Superman 2, and Clash of the Titans, I made my folks sick of. How is it every time? Just looks like every time you sitting in front of the TV, Superman's on. Because I looked at the guide. Ooh, this is the second. Superman gonna come on at 4 o'clock. I stopped playing. Hell, I come in from shooting basketball, go watch Superman. So, Camille, what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon growing up?
Oh, it was so many of them.
You,
That's
Camille?
what I'm.
It's so
I like Thundercats because Panther was black. Can't nobody tell me Panther wasn't black.
Shit,
Uh,
can't
he
nobody tell me
was.
all of them wasn't black.
yeah, pretty much they were black.
I'd had that argument before. It's like, oh, you can only have Panther because he was the black one. I was like, where you find lions?
Yep.
Where you find cheetahs? Where you find leopards? I'm like, hell, let's be honest. Where you find tigers? So if you trying to apply race to cat people, the only ones you might have was Wily Kit and Wily Cat, because you don't really know what the fuck they were. But panthers, lions, cheetahs, all from Africa, and tigers are in India. So what the hell are you talking about? Well, they had white voices. Okay, so Darth Vader's black then. You know, if you go by that stupid shit, the cat people, they don't have a race. That's like going Jazz was the black transformer. I don't think they have black transformers. Pretty sure that motherfucker was white, black, and red stripes and shit.
I was also a big fan of Mighty Orbot.
You know, I've never seen that ever.
I love.
I
Mighty
so,
Orbots?
yep, never seen it.
What?
There's a whole lot of people.
Bruh.
It's a lot of folks that hell they say that was their favorite cartoon. I've never seen Mighty Robots. I've
Nah,
never seen an episode.
you need to YouTube. You need to YouTube some Mighty Orbot.
Yes. Yes.
Back then, that
The
was the
anime
pinnacle of
was ahead of
animation.
its
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yes. It was
yeah.
on the there was an anime that came out at that time frame. I think it was called Robot Carnival. And those graphics in Robot Carnival were what you were getting in Mighty Orbots every Saturday.
Damn,
Yes.
damn.
Mighty
They
Orbot
were ahead of the
ahead of its
curve.
time. Yeah,
But
that
no,
was
man,
good.
I've never seen it. I've never seen an episode.
Yeah. That was like me and my older brother's thing was those guys. After watching the episode, he was like, "All right, I need you to draw me Tor," and I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, just from what you've seen today, draw 'em." You know, me and him would sit and go back and forth. We would do that, throughout Saturday mornings. That's what we would do. We'd watch Turbo Team. He's like, "All right, Turbo Team's a Trans Am. I'm gonna draw this Trans Am, and you finna draw it too. You're gonna draw Turbo Team." Like a lot of my characters that I've over the years that I've came up with, a lot of that stuff was him challenging me to do something. You know, if I see it, I can draw it. That's what he's telling me. He's like, all this stuff that you're seeing right here and you blown away by it, you can draw it. If I can draw it, you can draw it. You know. So from Thundercats to G.I. Joe to this day, I cannot draw robots. Oh my God, I can't draw robots. But I used to draw Hellacious Voltron back in the day and Optimus Prime and Megatron. That was the extent of the robots that I could draw. But
Man, when I
yeah,
saw
you try to.
that first Transform
That first miniseries.
Oh yeah,
the cartoon
Yeah,
that
yeah.
came out in the theaters, man, I lost my mind. My wife and I were dating at the time,
it was.
and I was like, "See, babe,
It,
gotta go. Let's see the Transformers."
Nice.
it's like the concepts of things that people were coming up with back then, man. It was just at the cusp of everything being just gravy.
Yeah,
I mean, any and everything that came across, man, was good. And just when you thought we are gonna get any better, they throw you an advertisement or something that you hadn't even seen yet, like Pirates of the Dark Water. Didn't know what that
yeah,
was
Yeah, Pirates of
before
Dark Water
they
was
had the
good.
figures. they had the figures TV series even dropped.
Yeah.
That's what got me. So I'm like Jones, and I'm like, I don't know. And they were like, this is coming soon in September, the TV series on ABC. And it's like, huh? It's like, what?
My dad used to
So,
watch Pirates of Darkwater. He used to watch that with me. He would watch Pirates of Darkwater and Beetlejuice right through there. And then was his two
yep.
Saturday morning cartoons. He would get up from doing third shift. He would watch Beetlejuice and he was gonna watch Pirates of Darkwater. That was, especially for its time. That was a dark cartoon. Because people died in it, which was rare.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
Superman the animated series gets kudos for that too. They straight gave a dude the gas chamber in that joint.
That was pretty good.
You know that
All of
that
the those older cartoon series, they were all like excellent. You could pick any one of them and at random watch it and be interested.
that's one of those kind of iffy because just like me growing up, I love Voltron. I love the old
Mm-hmm.
Voltron. I tried to watch Voltron as an adult. Was like, why in the hell was I watching this shite? I could barely get through. It was like, ugh. I remember this. I remember this so much cooler than it actually is. I could not handle
I can
GI
still
Joe.
watch them.
GI Joe Hank. GI Joe holds up for me. Transformers holds up for me. Thundercats to a certain degree. Hell, me and Jason had a ball one time, basically inserting like curse words for every time Snarf goes Snarf. Don't ask me. We do fucked up shit when it's bored. we were just in there every time he goes Snarf. Hell, we were fucking up that whole damn thing. We had Snarf cursing like a sailor. You just don't even fuck off, right? But anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some reason, hell, I tried to do Voltron on. Oh hell, what the hell was I watching Voltron on? It may have been Netflix. I was trying to watch Voltron, and it wasn't their Voltron. They had the old one on there, and I was like, oh God, this is horrible. I cannot stomach it. Now, Go Line, I'm cool with because it's horrifically violent.
Yes.
Where they got
Yes.
Voltron from. Yeah, you watch that shit and it changed your life. I was like, man, why didn't they show me this as a child?
I loved it. People getting their heads split open and everything.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
well, even truthfully, if you watch the first episode of Voltron's back when the Robeast was like made out of meat, and he was still cleaving through him with a sword, and you sitting there going, yes, yeah, it was like, oh, okay. They got a little bit better about letting them blow up quicker in the later ones, but like you watch that first Robeast, he really just looked like a weightlifter with a funny head and missile, gun turrets on his nipples.
And he
And
got
yeah,
split open, didn't he?
he split him twice. He hit him one way. He basically
Yep.
made a big Y in him. I was like, whoa.
Yep.
Cause that's like I said, Voltron and all that was one of them. I was teenager. I was junior high school, 7th grade, probably about 12, 13, when the Transformers and G.I. Joe and all that started dropping. Cause I laugh with a buddy of mine, a classmate of mine, Johnny, and we laugh about that now as adults. And man, we used to sit around the lunch table and we used to talk about the war between the Autobots and Decepticons like that shit was on CNN.
Yeah.
Everybody
did.
You be sitting around talking about that shit, hell, like the war was escalating. Oh man, the Decepticons got them combiners now, it's gonna get shady. Yep. Transformers the movie though, that was my shit. That's still my shit. I went to go see
Yeah.
anniversary of that like last year. Paid $15 to go to the movie to see some shit that I own like 8 different ways.
But you
and
can't
thought I was
replace
gonna be
that
in there,
nostalgic of it.
and I thought I was gonna be in there by myself. Hell, it was more damn people in the theater for that that hell was in the theater when I went to go see the damn live action one. It was
That's what I'm
it
talking
was
about.
standing room only in that joint.
Mhm.
It was cool in some cases because you had like dads my age that like had their kids there. You know, and it was and it was so screwed up as hell. Half the audience is sitting there reciting the movie. It was damn near a Rocky Horror Picture Show. You know,
That's well it should have been.
the whole damn audience is sitting there going, Megatron, is that you? Here's a hint.
Man, that was good.
I felt better about myself coming out of that though, because I was like, I thought I was the only grown jackass that could basically recite this movie from beginning to end.
I
Nope.
loved it. I
You guys
loved it,
ever
bro.
seen
Let me tell you.
Star Blazers?
Yes. Star Blazers was my jam when I was in like the second or third grade. They used to run it
They
on WTBS.
Yeah, they actually had like some good storyline.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Star Blazers was good. I
Battle
was
of the Planets, though. Woo.
See,
Say
Battle of the
what?
Planets takes me all the way back to like kindergarten, first
Oh yeah.
grade. We were in Lebanon. We lived in Lebanon when that came on. I used to
That
watch
that
that one
was
just to
that
see
was
the fiery phoenix.
that was a thing of beauty, bro.
Yeah,
All
I was
those
in
incarnations that they had. I mean, even if they when they did the modern day one, the Gotcha Man that they did the three I think it was 3 30-minute episodes, and it was like a retelling of the original episode of the
yeah.
Turtle King, and it was done by Urban. I think it was called Urban Entertainment at the time, or Urban Vision. What's the name of it? The company that did the graphics for it and everything. But yeah, I remember seeing that at a comic book convention, and it was all in Japanese. There was no subtitle or nothing. But I remember seeing the cover of that, and I'm like, I grew up watching that. How much is this? It was like $10. It was a bootleg copy of it. Didn't
It
know
was like
what the
soul.
hell they were saying. Yeah, but it was like the nostalgic sound of them when they break into the Galactus base and they're moving around. All that was in it. The music, all that old school music was in it, and it took me back to that time to when I was a kid. But they had updated the graphics and stuff on this, and it was like brutal.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
Super
still
Science,
it's
Super Science Ninja Gotchaman is rough.
Yeah, the Science Ninja
they
team.
if you
Yeah,
if
They
you
was
watch
good.
the very first episode, their leader gets killed because he wouldn't rat them out. They beat him to death.
that.
And then the second one in command was Mark, and it's like, well, looks like you're the guy that's supposed to be taking this role. It's like, what?
But see,
You the one didn't make it? He's like,
that was the
no.
whole trick with anime though. Is animation in Japan is just another form of storytelling. It's not necessarily
Yeah,
for children. Where over here, it's pretty much a kid's thing. Well, what they would do is they would take shows that in Japan were for adults and shit, and they would sit there and kind of hack them up and then give them to American kids as like kids fare. But yeah, if you go see the actual stuff most of this stuff comes from, yeah, it was rough as shit. Yeah, it was rough.
yeah.
Lord knows, hell.
And
Mm.
and one of the other cartoons that I came across at the time, and this is before I came across Dragon Ball or any of the Dragon Ball Z. He did a series called Dragon Warrior that was based off of the NES game. And Dragon Warrior in Japan now is up to like I can't even tell you which chapter is on now, but that's like an ongoing thing. But the
Shit, how
original
many damn
one
chapters
that
has Dragon Ball Z got now? Because
yeah,
good
it's
God.
made by the same. It's made by the same people. But Dragon Warrior, the one that I saw the anime of, was based off the actual game that came out for the NES and had Abel, Moko, John Aqua, the characters that were in it that were translated in English, and it was some of the most brutal stuff that I've ever seen because you took this guy who winds up becoming this warrior. He goes on this quest to become this warrior to actually save this princess that was kidnapped by these demons. And the whole entire time he's on this quest, they're trying to just that throw any and everything at him to keep him from succeeding, because each time he succeeds, he gains levels and he gains strength and he gains artifacts that helps him along the way and weapons and whatnot to help aid him fight these demons. And if you haven't seen it, you go to YouTube and watch these, man. I'm telling you, it gets right into the action from the beginning, and it doesn't leave you to question what the motives are, anything that you're gonna see in it, because you already know. It's definitely at the time frame when I was watching it. Yeah, I knew it wasn't for my age to be watching it, but I was watching the hell out of it. 5 o'clock in the morning.
Any cartoons that you used to
On-
watch? Any cartoons that you watch now that you have a greater appreciation for than you did when you were young and watching?
Um, any of the Looney Tunes stuff, the original Merry Melody stuff, the old school Popeye, the old school Mighty Mouse. Um, what else? Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, um, Super Friends, the Superpowers, Super Friends, Challenge of the Super Friends, any of the
Superpowers
Batman stuff,
gave us
Batman and the
super.
Super Seven, Batman and Robin, um,
Good
the
lord.
Batman.
Good lord. It's a damn book. Some of that, the
I mean,
Batman, some of that shit you were grown when that came out when that came out. The Batman,
but I had my
he was old as
with
dirt.
my kids, though.
Uh-uh.
That's like,
My question didn't have
yeah.
nothing to do with your kids. I was like, is there any cartoon that you watched as a kid that you now have a greater appreciation for as an adult? In other words, yeah, I watched it as a kid. I might have liked it, but now when I'm as an adult, I watch it and I enjoy it more than I did when I was young. Not something that hell you were 30 when it came out. That don't count.
Oh well.
We were 30 when the
Like I
damn
said,
we was in our damn 30s when the
any of the
Batman came out.
any other stuff from the '80s, I'd have to say Robotech, uh, Jason the Wheel Warriors. Um, what else? Saber Rider and the Star Sheriffs. Um, anything that had to do with like giant mechs at that time frame, because they were making these things. It was more than just the cartoon that you saw. You could actually go to Service Merchandise and order this out of this magazine, and it will come down this conveyor belt to you in a box. That kind of stuff. Yeah. So
Now
you
I got
had,
where I like Robotech a little better once I got an attention span. Cause it was
yeah,
giant mix, but it was a soap opera. Camille, what have you got?
yes,
Well, superpowers I like because it gave us cyber um,
That is true.
on their superpower show. You really got a chance to see um, Cyborg in action. I mean, even though he was was a cyborg, he was still a black guy on TV. So I thought that was really I was really into Silverhawks. I thought Silverhawks with Monstar, which was kind of a Thundercats thing, if you really look at it. But I thought Silverhawks was very, very um, Battle of the Planets. Of course, I was into Thundercats. I was into. Um, there was a show called Mask.
Yeah. I remember Mask.
I,
yes.
Matt
yeah,
Tracker.
yes, I was really into Mask. Bionic Six was probably one of my all-time favorite. I like how they did a lot of shout outs to Marvel. They were mentioning a lot of Marvel characters. Like I remember one moment where the bad guy's like, who does you think he is? Captain America?
Oh, nice.
They did a lot of little quirky moments like that in Binding Six. I thought Binding Six was excellent. It had the whole family thing, and it was kind of nice to get the black guy in there, you had the Asian guy in. Um, so that was really good too. Let's see what else was there. Like I said, Star Blazer. I was really into. I thought that was good. Um, when I was growing up, stuff like Braveheart and stuff was coming on at like 7:30 in the morning. So I was up early. We were up early, waiting for that to come on. Mighty Allbox was one of the all-time favorites too. That me and my brother would sit down and watch, and we had like the action figures for almost all of them. Um,
Yeah,
they
that was some
just
cool
don't
stuff,
make
man.
them. Yeah, they don't make them like they don't make cartoons now. Now it's really kid level stuff.
Yeah,
It's
and
dumbed
Um,
down.
it's
It's
dumbed down a
dumbed
lot.
down.
way dumbed
It's
down.
no thought process, and all of it has to do with butts and ass
Yes,
and
yes,
flatulence. Stupid.
yes.
It's just dumbed down.
It's dumbed down.
Let's
When
see.
Ren and
I,
Stimpy,
I I could not let this show go by though without mentioning. All right, young me. Let's see, about 10 or so Saturday morning. Thunder the Barbarian. That was my shit.
oh yeah,
Oh yes.
Thunder,
Thunder was my
Woo
shit.
boy.
Cause and Thunder murdered. He murdered somebody every week on the sneak tip. Cause you only
yes,
ever
Yeah.
had one of his villains come back twice, and that was Gemini. That's it. And the second time he showed up, he got encased in an unbreakable living stone, so he really got it ugly. But
Yep.
yeah.
most of Thundar's villains bit it at the end of the episode.
And
Most of them
Princess
motherfuckers did
Ariel.
not make it.
Back then, I was in love with Princess Ariel. She was
I was too. I was too. She
yeah.
was one of my first like crushes. I like me some Ariel. Uh,
In fact,
Yep.
He-Man and Masters of the Universe, He-Man, Teela was the first one when you were really getting the full-on butt shots in the middle of the screen. She'd always come jumping down from somewhere,
that is
and the
true.
camera was focused squarely on her ass.
That is true.
Yeah.
Listen to you, bunch of toxic, evil masculine. Looking at that child's butt. You supposed to be impressed with her as a warrior, not the fact that she was fighting in a bikini. Pigs.
And that's something that I really and truly appreciated in that series when they actually
What,
fought.
butt shots?
The movement, no, the movements of those characters, how they took and
Yeah,
they
because they took
drew
people.
around live action people.
Yeah, they took
Yeah,
people
and
and
it
basically did it.
worked,
But you had a
and
lot.
it was just
Now the trick with filmation though is, but you had a lot of stock shots too. You had a ton of stock shots.
Yeah,
He-Man always did that same punch every time he punched. It
the
was a lot of.
same one.
or whenever he tried to pull up something, he had that same
Mm-hmm.
kind of motion of pulling.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, yeah,
Now if you want to get really ill in the late '80s, you had the Inhumanoids. That was some
oh
fucked up.
yeah,
That was H.P. Lovecraft. That was some Cthulhu shit
bro,
brought to like Sunday morning.
bro, what the humanoids?
Yeah, the
yeah.
Inhumanoids.
Oh my god,
That was some
that
ill.
used to scare my
That was some
that
ill
used to,
shit.
that used to that used to scare my little brother ridiculously on Sundays, man.
And I
He
can see
hated that
why.
shit. And I had all those toys too, man. Hurt, auger, decompose.
Decompose was
Look,
my dude.
yeah, he had that like jelly in his belly, and you put the figures in it,
Yeah,
and you hit the little
in the
button on
rib
the stomach, and it
cage.
would fizz up like stomach acid. Yes,
Yep.
those things are cool. And
But I
that
was just talking
plant
about.
guy, I
I'm just
had
talking
all
about.
that.
I'm just talking about the character, because that was
Oh yeah,
zombies.
the
That was zombies
concept of
on.
all them.
Yeah, that was zombies on TV. Because if
Yeah,
Decompose poked you,
Yeah,
yeah, that was it.
decompose.
You rotted. You turned into a
Yep,
zombie.
yep,
It
yep.
had some shit in there that because again I was a little older when that came on, so I was like, how the hell did they manage to do a cartoon of this? This is I thought it was neat as hell. And another little fun fact is, that's in GI Joe's world too. Transformers, GI Joe, and Inhumanoids all in the same world. Ha ha ha! Ask me how I
So
know.
it's visionary.
Ask me how I know.
So it's visionary. How do you know?
Because they all had Hector Ramirez in them. They knock off Geraldo Rivera, reporter. Hector
yeah,
Ramirez.
Oh yes.
He's in
yeah.
all three of them. He's in Transformers. He's in GI Joe. He's in Inhumanoids. And one of the Earth Force is the dude that flew the Sky Striker, Ace. Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
wasn't there somebody named Ace and Centurions?
Say what?
Say what? What? Yeah, the
I
dude.
missed that.
Yeah, the dude that he's part of Earth Force, and he gets one that's basically like a jet. His vehicle. Yeah, that's Ace. That's Ace.
Wasn't there somebody Ace
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
He's the guy who flies
You talking about Ace McCloud?
I'm
from
talking about the guy that
Centurion.
flew the
The dude.
Sky Striker in G.I. Joe is the same.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yes.
is part of Earth Force in the later episodes in Humanoids. Yeah, that's the same guy. It's the same world.
Wasn't his
Get
name Ace
out.
McCloud in Centurions?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think there was one.
There was a
Uh-huh.
guy, his name was Ace McCloud. And he had the flying he always
Suit.
had the joint he
Yeah.
was in the air.
Yeah.
It was one in the water and
Yeah.
one on the earth. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Me and my little brother had all of them, dude. Those were like equivalent at the time frame to Action Man because they were big,
Mm-hmm.
bulky,
Yeah.
plastic dudes, and you could pose them, and you could take all these different weapons and put them on and make them into all types of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, our early exposure to those were like phenomenal. Me and him, we had every last one of those dudes, man. And the Spiral Zone. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was some pretty
Yes. The
pretty
Spiral Zone. Yes. Yes.
yes. That was some pretty deep shit.
It
That,
was.
like I said, going back and watching that now, I can have a better appreciation for it because the zone. Once you got into the zone, you pretty much became what living zombies. They were
Yeah.
just walking through this like mist, zoned out, and people running through you and running over you, and you're exploding and everything. And they had the zone riders that were basically coming through there, rescuing these people. And you had these other people that were like products of the zone. So it was like everything. It was like every day to them, to just run in, ransack, not a care in the world, and these innocent bystanders just happen to be target practice for them. It didn't phase them.
Yep.
Yeah, that was some pretty wild shit.
See,
And then Macron 1, that was mine too. Wait,
I got a better appreciation of G.I. Joe once I got older. I love my Transformer stuff, but
what?
my G.I. Joe. I liked G.I. Joe as a kid. Now that I'm older, I will watch the hell out of some G.I. Joe. Because, I went and got the box sets when they were dropping them. And I watched the hell out of them damn things.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, you get your turn.
Oh, G.I. I was right there with you.
You know how damn quick I am to quote Serpentor. I got a thing for dictators. I quote Serpentor and Apocalypse on your ass and drop a dime. Either y'all ever watch Exo Squad?
Oh yeah.
Exo Squad was some dark shit.
You know what? I never really got into that.
I watched it, but I always used to pull for the Neo Sapiens. The supposed bad guys. I used to pull for them because, humans had made them as slaves and it was a revolt. It was literally a slave revolt. And it was like the Neo Sapiens were supposed to be like the bad guys. And I was like, no, because they were slaves and they basically overthrowing their masters. Why, I don't really see the problem. Yeah, Exo Squad was one of them that kind of, at least for me, it kind of challenged, well, hell, it didn't really challenge me because, like I said, once I found out the situation, it was like, yeah, how are they the bad guys again?
Did you guys ever watch those Hanna-Barbera shows? Herculoid?
Hell
Galaxy
yeah.
Show?
My mom got me into them. Space Ghost, Herculoids.
What's that?
The Hanna-Barbera superhero type shows. Herculoids, Space Ghost.
Oh, the Galaxy Trio,
Yeah,
the
Galaxy Trio,
Herculoids,
Birdman.
Kit Comet, and his sidekicks that he had with him.
That was Team Force. That was Team Force. That was the ones that came along later. Because that was the trick with them is you have the good ones that came out like in the 60s or something like that. And then like in the late 70s, early 80s, they went and brought them back on NBC. You can always tell the new ones from the old ones by Space Ghost ship. When Space Ghost
Yep.
has that kind of ship that's got like Batman scallops on it, it's yellow. That's the old ones from the '60s. If he's got the white one that's kind of got the long wings, looks more like a plane. Yeah, that's the ones from the '80s. The ghost ship. Yeah.
Yep.
You can tell the Herculoids because if the Herculoids are fighting some other kind of giant monster, it's one from the '60s. If they own some bullshit, it's the one from the '80s. Mom showed me the originals first, and then when the ones from the '80s came out, I was like, "This is some bullshit." Only thing I really like about the ones from the '80s is I will still call things porvalacas sometimes. If I'm watching like a horror movie, I don't know what the hell it is. I go, some kind of goddamn porvalaca. But that comes from the '80s, and that's a Space Ghost episode where he was fighting vampires. But they ain't call them vampires; they call them porvalacas. It's amazing the shit you remember.
Huh. Yep. Yep.
But yeah, I'm playing a Call of Cthulhu game now. And yeah, anytime we run into something weird, I say, it's a bunch of damn porvalacas. Yeah. Space Ghost fought vampires in the episode, and Thundar fought that damn thing, that alien that was basically a vampire. I love that episode. The damn thing was kicking his ass till it caught Ookla's cold.
Space Ghost even had a pretty good DC put out a good limited series
adaptation of his.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was
really good.
I really want to see that become a movie. If Warner Brothers to do any superhero cosmic thing, that would be the script to go by.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
We do.
You think you want that. You don't want that. No, you don't. They mess it up. You don't want it. You think you want it. You sit up and go, man, that'd be cool. But when they do it, it won't be cool. Trust me. It won't. Shit just won't. I gave up any hope for hell him adapting something. You can't adapt, dude. You can't adapt 80s shit to this time, to 2019. Cause that's the trick. Is 80s shit. Every hero we grew up with was toxic. By today's standards, they all toxic. Cause like they were dudes. Damn, you didn't do that shit. Wait for this damn new He-Man to drop. Watch. Wait for it. I hope they surprise me, but I bet you they don't. Look at how many Robeasts. If y'all watch the old Voltron, they fought a Robeast every episode. How many Robeasts did Netflix Voltron fight in 5 seasons of that shit? They maybe fought 3. You had a whole bunch of blah blah. And the Lions had a hard time with the fighter ships, which, were basically like fucking popcorn or Lay's potato chips in the old one. Hell, they went through them like it wasn't nothing. But I think they fought 3 or 4 Robeasts, I think, in that whole series. Think about it. They don't adapt. Things these days don't adapt well. Things from the 80s don't adapt well to now. Or whether they won't, I sit up and go, man, it'd be cool if they brought back Thundar. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Thundar and Ukla would be in a damn relationship. You do that shit now.
No.
They would.
No,
yeah.
No.
If they did it to Lando Calrissian, they'd do it to Thundar. They took cool ass Billy D. Williams, Mr. Colt 45, and put him in a relationship with a droid.
This is why people like us are making these type of toys to this day.
Oh yeah, you can make a toy. You can make a toy of it.
We're gonna and the series too. We're gonna have the series too.
You ain't make no damn series,
bruh. You can't tell me that G.I. Joe Resolute wasn't a damn good homage to the original series, but
it was it was a great homage to it, and I'm pretty sure the only people that liked it were the people that liked G.I. Joe. And you couldn't get that shit done now. You couldn't get that done now. Give that up. Well, ain't Snake Eyes a woman? Hell, matter of fact, it's just like because they doing another live action G.I. Joe movie. And Snake Eyes in
Yeah, but
it, and
it's Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow.
Yeah, and Snake Eyes all of a sudden is Asian. You know Snake Eyes is Asian in the new movie, right?
What?
Yeah, Snake Eyes is Asian. Because they got an Asian dude playing him. Snake Eyes is Asian in it.
Oh, in the movie.
Yeah, in this one that they doing now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snake Eyes is Asian in that.
This is the thing. It can make sense. Because you never saw Snake Eyes' face.
Yes, you did.
You just saw the back of his head.
You did?
You saw the back of his head.
You saw his face if you read the comic. They eventually show you his face. It's all fucked up, but you see his face. You've seen enough of Snake Eyes and enough stuff to know he's a white guy.
Yeah, with blonde hair.
Yeah, he's blonde. He's blonde hair, blue-eyed white guy. Yeah, they've shown you enough of Snake Eyes to know, no, it's a race swap. Yep. I mean, you can still do the whole fish out of water thing with him, But yeah, they basically went, what? He's doing ninjutsu and he's not Asian? Fuck that. Yeah, it was kind of the same angle they had about Iron Fist. Why ain't Iron Fist Asian? Because he ain't Asian in the books, I guess. Shit. He's some kind of white savior. Yeah, kind of. He's that trope. Yeah. But then he should be Asian. So then he could be the all Asians know martial arts trope. You troped out either way. I mean, you literally are. You troped out. You got a trope for it. Either way. But yeah, Snake Eyes in this next one is going to be Japanese. I think he's Japanese. Pretty sure he's Japanese. So yeah, like I said, it's one of them kind of things where it'd be neat. You go, oh man, it'd be so cool if they did this. It would. It's just like as much. I love that Thundercats reboot, but truthfully, Lionel and them got what they deserved because the cats were assholes. I know them first episodes, I was watching it going, these motherfuckers kind of suck. Oh, no wonder everybody turned on them. They suck. You pull from them later on, but the cats were kind of dicks to the other animals. I mean, they were. Lionel was a little shit. And, hell, kind of seemed like Tiger was screwing him over every chance he got. Oh, you did this? Tiger beat you. Oh, you got a girl you like? Tiger got her. Lionel in that one was really having kind of a Luke Skywalker feel. Hey, you the hero, but you really ain't winning, bruh. The one that he liked turned out to be a double agent. I know. Like I said, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the hell out of it, but in some of that I was kind of like, they kind of deserve this. Go back and watch that Thundercats reboot and notice how the cats act. Yeah, you can see why people went, yeah, I'm overthrowing the hell out of you. Now, the 2002 reboot of He-Man, I love. I love it better than I like the original.
I haven't seen that.
You never seen the 2002 He-Man? Oh,
Woo!
That's some good shit. That is some good shit. And they make Zodak a brother, and he's powerful as hell. Zodak, when he shows up in the reboot, shit, that brother ain't no damn joke. That motherfucker putting He-Man and everybody on their ass. He is rough. He shows up second season? Yeah, second season, because when they fighting the Snake Men, he's got a personal vendetta against King Hiss. Because King Hiss ate his brother. And the cool thing about that is it's in shadow, but you actually see King Hiss eat people.
Yep.
Because King Hiss eats Zodak's brother, and he eats one of the members of Whiplash's race. And you see that, like, when the snakes come out, yeah, you see it in shadow, and you see all the snakes basically devouring the dude. Yeah, King Hiss ain't no damn joke in that, because they let you know why the snake men are trying to take over. They trying to take over to eat. And they gonna eat the people. Yeah. That's why nobody wants the snake. That's why everybody was glad the snake men were gone. It's because the snake men ate people. And you have like Cobra Khan is in it pretty early. And you find out the other snake men look down on him as almost like he's not pure or some shit. They look at him as like, compared to the hardcore snake men, you ain't shit. He's kind of like a complete and utter flunky when it comes to like King Hiss and General Rat Lord and all them. Them motherfuckers ain't no damn joke. You don't get to see the Horde but once. And yeah, they do an amazing job of hell, really telling you where He-Man's power comes from and all kinds of shit. If you want to see one that blows your mind, what the hell was the name of that episode? Was it King Grayskull or was it called by the Power Grayskull? The one that basically goes back, you
King
find
Grayskull.
out where you go back in time and find out where Castle Grayskull comes from, where the power comes from, where who He-Man is turning into when he changes. Because yeah, when Adam changes into He-Man, he's basically turning into King Grayskull.
The essence
And
of
that's his power. When he goes by the power of Grayskull, he ain't talking about the castle. He's talking about that king.
King Grayskull.
Yeah, King Grayskull.
And if you haven't seen King Grayskull,
he's
He-Man something magnificent to behold.
He's He-Man with long hair and a cape. But instead of like riding a green tiger, he rides a green lion. He has battle lion. And he was basically king back when the evil Horde was still on Eternia. And the Horde was fighting the Snake Men. Because that was the trick it wasn't King Grayskull that got rid of the Snake Men. It was really Hordak. Hordak got fucked up trying to get rid of King Grayskull. Because he tried to cast a spell. He tried to cast a spell that would have taken the whole castle into another dimension. He ends up getting sucked into it, and King Grayskull basically uses all of his power to basically blow a hole in that spell. And that's the reason why you got that bottomless pit all around the castle. It's because King Grayskull protected that part. Yeah, you have the Horde get sucked into basically another dimension. You see that one? It's tight as hell. His wife was. Oh, what were we gonna say?
Go ahead.
His wife was the first sorceress. The Council of Elders that they talk about in there. Yeah, they basically he gave them part of his power when he died. Yeah, you find out. Yeah, all the shit that you thought He-Man was talking about the castle. Yeah, the castle wasn't shit. It was King Grayskull. That was King Grayskull's power that Skeletor had been chasing all that time. He just didn't realize it. And if that thing had gotten a third season, you were gonna actually have Hordak and the Horde come back to Eternia. And you gonna find out that if that Skeletor wasn't no more than like the Antichrist, where Hordak was the devil. Because they'd already shown you that Hordak was the one that basically in 2002's Master of the Universe, Skeletor was a lich. That son bitch is dead. He's undead. Literally undead. They kind of weasel out on it with the origin that they tell now, where they go, oh, well, yeah, Hordak bonded him to Demo Man from another. In 2002, that motherfucker died. That acid that hit his face killed him. And when you see Hordak turn him into Skeletor, yeah, he goes from like a bright, his skin goes from like a bright, healthy blue to that pale, kind of dead blue. You see his skin and stuff kind of draw up around his hands and his muscles and all that kind of stuff. And the pièce de résistance is you see him with his hood down, and that skull is just floating there. There ain't no neck, there ain't no meat, there ain't nothing attaching that head to his body.
It's just floating.
It's just floating there. And he did that because he was begging Hordak to help him because he was dying. And Evil Lyn and him go back to Snake Mountain. They cast a spell basically to call Hordak. And he basically promises to help get Hordak out of the dimension he's in if he'll save his life, and that's what he does. He turns him into a lich. Him and Evil Lyn, were a couple before then. But the trick is, while she was still in love with Skeletor, in love with Keldor or Skeletor, yeah, Keldor was dead. Skeletor was kind of his own something. He was dead. He was a lich.
Oh, something.
Yeah, because she's asking, is he all right? You see the skull and shit floating there, and he puts the hood up and then just falls out laughing and walks off. But yeah, that was the whole trick with that was, yeah, Skeletor was supposed to be working to bring Hordak back, and instead he was just trying to conquer Eternia for himself. Because, he's evil. Yeah, if you get a chance, because like now, like at Target, you can get the whole series, you can get the whole 2 seasons of it now on like a little single DVD. Yeah, it's well worth the little bit of money that you pay to get it, because it ain't expensive either.
Yeah,
it's
worth
nice. It's worth it. I got that shit twice, because I got them when they were doing like the individual DVDs where you had the big brick of them, the 2 bricks of them. I got that, and I let Jason borrow it. He never gave it back, and I never asked for it back, because when I saw it all on like the single thing, hell, I just bought it that way. Yeah, that 2002 Masters of the Universe is the truth.
Yep.
It is the truth.
They got down in that.
They kicked ass and took names with that one.
They were real fans of the original series.
Yeah,
it was basically like watching them play with these toys.
And they took the story to another level.
Yeah,
it had a way more backstory and all kinds of shit. You find out that hell, Snake Mountain itself was held the snake men's god. They had cast a spell on it basically to turn it to stone. It was in a stone prison. Because the last episode of the whole series, they have King Hisnip free that damn thing. They have to fight it. Yeah, that damn thing ain't no joke.
So basically, you're saying I need to watch.
Hell yeah.
If you're a Masters of the Universe fan, you need to watch that.
Yeah. That 2002 run, because it was all on Cartoon Network at the time, that damn thing is good. It was coming on the same time as the second season of Justice League Unlimited.
Justice League. Yep.
It was coming on the same time as Unlimited. Yeah. That damn thing is damn good. Cause like I said, if you like the history of that world and stuff, yeah, they give you all that shit. Cause when it starts, Randor is like part of the damn King's Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Duncan are King's Guard. Skeletor is Keldor. Hell, Trapjaw still got his jaw in his arm and all that kind of shit. Yeah. Yeah, it tells the story how they basically trapped them in the dark dimension and the dark hemisphere was what it was. Because they basically put Skeletor, and all his folks behind a mystical wall.
Yep. Camille, you got to send me a friend request on Facebook, bro. I'll drop all this stuff so you can check it out.
Oh yeah. What's your name on Facebook?
You gonna give that over to air? I'm just saying. It ain't like it ain't like when we in the show that you have to jump off without giving all that over to air, because you are being recorded.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
you might want to be
Todd
careful
can
about
message
giving
me.
all your business out.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there.
Toddfather, you can message it to me, Toddfather. You can
All
message
right.
that to me.
Be like shit.
Yeah, do that.
Because I'm not gonna be responsible for the kind of damn messages and shit you get from that. Man, why I keep getting all these dick pics? I don't know. Ain't got nothing to do with it.
What?
Man, I ain't got nothing but dick pics on here. What in the hell? What? You mean you wouldn't be like, what the hell? What the hell is all this shit? What happens when what? When you put your shit online like that. But anyway, I'm gonna send you this thing, and I guess that will wrap up this week's episode of Impulse. As usual, I am the Toddfather, and joining me as always,
Tony the Hitman Horton.
And the Digital Jedi, the all smoke himself.
the All Smoke. I was waiting for the All Smoke. So take it easy, you guys, and we'll catch you next week. We got to work on getting us some more interviews in here. Like I said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.